Ben Fawkes joining me here today to talk about the betting action on Super Bowl LVIII. And it seems to me, Ben, that the bigger, more significant-sized bets, so far at least, have been on one team in particular. And we'll get to that in a second. But talk to me about the spread here. It's settled on Niners -2 for a bit here. After a hectic couple of days after opening lines were hung Sunday night, what have you seen in terms of tickets and dollars on the spread so far?
Yeah, so the Super Bowl line is always kind of most volatile on that Sunday night and Monday right after it comes out. Respected bettors are going to kind of bet it into shape one way or the other, just depending on the side that they like. We saw this open 49ers -2.5 at a lot of books, actually opened 49ers -3 at one book. Those didn't last long. Bettors betting the Chiefs +3, +2.5. That got us down to 49ers -1 on Monday at a majority of books. And then we saw some significant wagers, some bigger wagers, as you mentioned, on the 49ers. And that's pushed the line back up to 49ers -1.5. And now back again to 49ers -2. So we started there kind of on Sunday night. We're back there now. I think that's probably where we'll ping pong back between 49ers -2 and -1, potentially going to pick them. But most bookmakers I've spoke with don't think it's going to hit back to 3. And don't necessarily think it's going to get back down to pick 'em. The majority of the public, though, on the Chiefs, for sure. Ticket counts around 75% of the bets, and the majority of the money on the Chiefs as well to cover. Same thing with the money line bettors backing Patrick Mahomes. A ridiculous 10-1-1 against the number as an underdog with Andy Reid. Also 9-3 straight up. So betting Mahomes as an underdog has been very good to bettors' bank accounts so far, and that's why they're backing him right now for the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah, it certainly has been. And what about that total currently sitting around 47.5?
Yeah, for the most part, again, you saw good offense, right, with Kansas City. You have Mahomes. The 49ers put up a ton of points in the second half. It's going to be an interesting one as we get closer. In general, the public likes to see things happen. They like to bet overs, and that's what we're seeing right now. The majority of the bets and the money on the over, 47, 47.5, depending on the book. I think we'll probably continue to see that. And remember as well that unlike some potential other Super Bowls, this is in a dome, so there's no weather. That factors in as well, I think, to the public's thinking of higher scoring.
I alluded to it a bit at the top, and you referenced it, but one team in particular does seem to be getting those larger-sized bets. You tweeted a couple days ago about the first $1 million wager and then subsequently some six-figure wagers. What's happening there?
Yeah, so this is something that we talk about a lot, right, in terms of respected bettors betting the team, but also the number. And I think that they saw the line movement. This was 49ers, like we had said, -3, -2.5, got down to -1. And that was kind of the point of resistance. We saw the first $1 million bet, which was on the 49ers money line. So just the 49ers to win at -120 from a bettor in Michigan. Usually the last couple of Super Bowls, we've seen somewhere between 5 and 7 bets of 7 figures over $1 million. It's very rare to see one already on the Tuesday of what we call Super Bowl dead week, the week before the Super Bowl. So if that's any indication, I think we're going to get plenty. We've also seen a couple six-figure wagers, 110,000 at Niners -1 and 100,000 on the Niners -1. So that's kind of been the point of resistance in terms of some other larger wagers on the Niners. Like I said, the public still on the Chiefs, a lot of those smaller $20, $50, $100, $1,000 bets still on the Chiefs. So the overall majority of the money on the Chiefs, the bigger bets on the 49ers to cover.
And I know it's still obviously early days yet, but have any prop bets gotten notable action so far?
So no surprise, much like the total, the public likes to bet on things to happen, and that means overs. And what did the public just see? Brock Purdy scrambling for a lot of yards and picking up a couple key third downs. We've seen Brock Purdy's rushing yardage total be bet over. That was at around 11.5. That's one of the more popular bets at sports books. And same thing with Travis Kelce, caught 11 passes on 11 targets. We've seen Kelce's yardage total over. A lot of bettors betting that, as well as Travis Kelce receptions over. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 touchdowns. other props like that, we're seeing the popular players generally going over. So if you think one of those players you like that, probably want to bet an over early. And if you like the under for one of those, you might want to wait until next week or closer to game time to bet the under on those props.
Follow Ben on X if you are not already at bfawkes22. That's Fawkes. Ben, we'll catch up next week as we move closer to Super Bowl 58.
Looking forward to it.